Whether you are grazing sheep or growing wheat, all agriculture starts with a good piece of dirt. But finding land you can afford to buy in the place you need isn't always an option.
So lease land is a huge part of the average producer's land base. Most of our larger ag producers, whether they're grains or beef, have quite a bit of leased ground. In the north central part of Oklahoma, where I'm from, in the Enid area, actually upwards of 40 and in some cases 50% of the land on average under the management of a particular operator may in fact be leased from another owner. In individual cases it may be far more than that. As you travel to other parts of the state, it may not be quite that large of an issue, but yes, overall leasing is a big issue and a huge mechanism for farming operations to acquire that land resource that they need.
But the process is more complicated than simply matching land and tenant. The terms of the lease can greatly affect the profits for both.
For example, in Oklahoma, a common cropping practice has been traditional continuous crop wheat for year after year after year, and it doesn't take very long for people to figure out what a fair and equitable lease arrangement in that situation might be. But as technology evolves and as different cropping practices come into play, we may need to rethink those traditional leasing arrangements, maybe make a change from the standard 1/3, 2/3 crop share split or 60-40 crop share split to something a little different as we add crops like canola, for example, as a winter crop, or summer crops like grain sorghum into the mix.
To address these issues, Oklahoma State University has a pair of new websites. aglandlease.info was created jointly by the Plant and Soil Sciences and Ag Economics departments at OSU. It focuses on the land management practices that affect leases.
Using lime, that's one of our best examples, because if a producer limes a piece of rented ground, that may cost him anywhere between $75 and $150 an acre to lime that ground. That lime may take 2 to 5 years to pay off or completely react with the soil and see the benefits. Well, if a producer has a short-term lease, it's very unlikely he's going to want to invest in that kind of input to the ground that he's not guaranteed for a long period of time. The offset would be if the landlord would either cost share that lime, as it is an improvement to the land itself, or guarantee a longer lease so that the lime input that producer's paying for would be economical.
Just one of the many issues addressed on that site through both printed material and videos. The other site is aglease101.org, developed by a regional coalition of farm management specialists like Rodney Jones.
That resource provides more of the actual lease arrangement itself information. For example, there are publications that talk about the advantages and the disadvantages of the various types of lease arrangements that are out there, all the way from a very simple cash lease arrangement to a simple crop share arrangement to now publications that talk about what's becoming much more common, the flexible lease arrangements, where the returns to the various parties change as conditions change over time, and that's built right into the lease.
That includes example forms and worksheets producers can use to look at the leases themselves.